Hi, this is Ellie with Full Moonlight Tarot 20, and we're doing a person on your mind reading today. Now, the top row, I've got here what the person on your mind, what they would say to you, or this is coming from their higher self. I don't think they would ever say that to you in real life. I'm devastated to learn the truth. I need time to heal myself first. I know it's unfair to you. So I feel like this person is not ready for anything at this time. They're working on healing themselves. They're working on breaking free of negative patterns when it comes to relationships. Maybe this person, it sounds to me like they're really working on their toxicities, their self-destructive patterns that they have. And with I'm devastated to learn the truth, I feel like this person is worried that they've lost you. They're worried that maybe you're getting into another connection, that maybe you're interested in other people, maybe you're dating. They really feel like they've messed this up. So, but they do realize that it's unfair to hang on to you, that it's unfair to not let you go when they're not ready to offer you what you're worthy of. And that is actually a very good mindset to have, because deep down you know that with the way this person is at this time, they wouldn't mesh with you well. They wouldn't, especially if they're dealing with a lot of trauma from the past. You don't want to end up in a trauma bond, in an enmeshment, because all you're doing is getting back into a toxic cycle with another person, right? And I think that it's a great sign that this person is realizing that they have to do some work on themselves in order to be worthy of being with you. Because if you've already done so much work on yourself, all they would do is drag you back down if they came to you in this unhealed state, right? You can't have a healthy person and an unhealthy person together, because they would drag you down. Their negative patterns, their traumas, it would wreak havoc in your relationship. It doesn't matter how healed you are, you cannot heal them. They have to do that themselves. And it comes to the point where, and I'm not saying that you're completely healed, because we're never completely healed. There's just way too much that we carry into each lifetime for us to actually be able to heal and resolve in one lifetime. But you get to a space where you've healed enough, where both of you have healed enough that you can actually come together and have a healthy relationship, and together heal some of the unhealed things, right? Without negatively impacting one another. Now I have here synchronicity, and I also have 1111, which is a synchronicity, right? 1111 is very much the twin flame number, because the two 11s, it's all about mirroring, right? And how divine counterparts mirror each other, mirror their healing, mirror their wounds, their unhealed wounds, and how until they're completely healed, and as I said, not completely, but healed enough that you can actually be together in a relationship without hurting one another. Once they've healed, but with twin flames, it's more complicated, because they really do need to have worked through most of their karma in order for them to be together, because until they do, they're going to repel one another energetically. So if this is a twin flame dynamic, then probably both of you are seeing signs and synchronicities. Now I have spiritual. Your spiritual journey is beginning. And maybe I feel like this pertains to the other person. Because if they're seeing that I need to do some healing, that can be the beginning of their spiritual journey. Because until they actually realize that there's stuff wrong with them that they need to work on, and they're willing to put in that work, they're not on a spiritual journey. The spiritual journey begins when they're actually ready to face that healing and do the work. Now we have confusion. All seekers of truth experience confusion. Ask the divine to provide the answers you need. I don't think I've ever had this card come up, and I find that very interesting. But yeah, both of you could be confused at this time. You could be confused about the relationship the two of you have, right? About not that you're in a relationship, but the connection, right? The connection you have with them, right? Because if this is a soulmate, if this is a divine counterpart, then you would feel one another energetically, you probably more than them. But these things can be confusing. And if this person is just starting out on their spiritual journey, they must really be confused, because especially the masculine collective, most of them are very materialistically centered. They don't really think much about spirituality. A lot of them are actually atheists that don't believe in anything, and all of a sudden all these things are popping up and they feel like they're going crazy, especially if they're seeing signs and synchronicities, if they're having vivid dreams. Yeah, they're they must be confused, because you know what it was like for you, right? When you started your journey. So be patient. There's nothing for you to do. They need to go through their own healing. And until they actually do, they put in some work. This cannot come together. And it's up to you if you even want this to come together when the time comes, right? Because in the meantime, you're going to still be doing you. You're still going to be living your life. You're still going to be out there doing your mission, right? Making your life the best it can be. You're going to be meeting other people. You might be meeting other romantic partners. It's up to you, because you don't wait. You never ever put yourself in the energy of waiting, because it just tells the universe that you're not ready to, how would I put that? You're actually in a stagnant place. That energy of waiting is a stagnant place. That place of, you don't know what to expect and you're not working towards anything and you're waiting for something to come in. You don't do that. You keep living your life. You let go of that energy of waiting, because you'll be waiting a long time. Because if you are in an energy of I'm waiting, then the universe is like, oh, okay, she's waiting. And the universe is going to be like, hey, we'll give her more to wait for. We'll give her more waiting, right? So how are you going to move forward? You're always going to be in this energy of waiting. And you definitely don't want to wait for somebody else to make a move, right? If this person needs time to work on themselves and work on their journey, who knows how long it's going to take? And what happens is, when you're in an energy of waiting for them, you're sending them energy that says, I'm waiting for you to make a move. And that puts pressure on them. And that is going to actually hinder their progress, right? Because if they're going to keep feeling that pressure from you, it's going to stop them from actually doing the work. So take your energy back and focus on yourself, and focus on, how can I make this life the best it can be without waiting for another person to come in and rescue you, or waiting for another person to come in and make your life so wonderful. That's up to you. Making your life wonderful and beautiful and worth living is up to you. That's your job. Happiness is an inside job. It's not coming from the outside. It's coming from within you. So that's something that you need to work on within yourself. So do that. Look at how you structure every day, and how can you make every day more exciting, more joyful, more happy, more worth living. Even when you have to work, how can you make your work more enjoyable? How can you bring more happiness to your job, right? These are things that are up to you, okay? And let that person work on themselves. Take your energy back, and then they can completely focus on themselves, on their healing, on the work they need to do to become a better person. So that's what I got for you today, guys. You got this. Love and light. We'll talk again soon.